On the couch today, we are heading to the Karoo and specifically to Prince Albert, where music, art and particularly young artistic talent will be coming together for the second Kaleidoscope Music and Arts Festival. We chatted about this last year when it had its debut, and the festival is back this weekend with an even bigger program, bringing together established South African musicians with more than 250 young musicians and emerging artists. It is a weekend of concerts, of workshops and collaborations. And at the heart of this festival is the benefit of music education and youth development. The event directly supports the ARCO Pact Strings project, which provides string tuition to more than 100 children in Prince Albert. And it's a pleasure to welcome back the founder of the Kaleidoscope Festival, violist Dr Louise Lansdown, who's joining us via Zoom this afternoon. Louise, lovely to chat to you again.
Angie, thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure. Louise, just for those who didn't hear the interview last time round or who might have forgotten, let's just start with the very basics. Give us a sense of what the Kaleidoscope Music, Arts and Festival is all about and where the idea of this event sprang from.
Yes, sure. The Kaleidoscope Festival is really about young South Africans, young South African musicians and artists. And it stems from wanting to have a platform for the ARCO Pact Strings project, which teaches, as you said a moment ago, over 100 young musicians in Prince Albert, in the Prince Albert community. And this festival really is a showcase for these young people, for them to play alongside professional musicians and work with professional artists. And this year we've had such wonderful responses from Frank Peterson Music Center, who are bringing almost 60 children with them to Prince Albert. We have Grey High School from Rebecca bringing their senior string orchestra. We also have Rustenburg Girls High School from Cape Town, who are bringing a group, and a bunch of absolutely wonderful musicians and artists who are gathering to celebrate young talent. So actually everyone is playing alongside one another. We've got fantastic workshops. Actually, most of the festival is for free.
Yeah.
So everyone and anyone can come and listen, learn, ask if they want to learn instruments, meet professional musicians and artists. We have an visual artist in residence, Anne Fall-Price, who is visiting from Cape Town, who has made a special exhibition of wonderful Karoo landscapes. And we also have the Becker Music, who have driven all the way from Johannesburg, who are coming to repair instruments, bring instruments and accessories, and who are going to be chatting to all the young people. So it's a serious celebration of music and art and of young people. That is the most important thing to us.
I mean, what a wonderful opportunity, not only to learn from watching and listening to professional musicians play, Louise, or artists in the case of the artists, but having the opportunity to play alongside them and to learn from others of your own ability level and above. Let's talk a little bit about the value of that, because there's something. It's not just the aspirational of, wow, maybe one day I can be that. What does it mean to these young people, and what sort of impact does it have to actually say, sit down and play with somebody who's already walked this journey and made a life out of it?
I think it's just gobsmackingly awesome to sit next to someone who plays your instrument, but who's done it all their lives, and they're still smiling, they're still loving playing music. You can see that music is a lifelong journey, one that brings such joy, and something you do not need even to speak the same language as anyone. Music is a universal language. You can be anywhere in the world and you can sit down next to somebody and play music. And I think there's a lesson about life and working with people. They're not just a lesson, but a kind of model that shows you that music can take you, it gives you mobility that is beyond a classroom. And that there is such immense joy in making sound. So many people do not realize that, and there's joy in making sound from an instrument, such joy.
Louise, there's also a lot of expense that goes into being able to practice any form of music that requires an instrument. It's not just the cost of obtaining the instrument to start with. It's the cost of strings if you're a string player, of new reeds if you're a woodwind player. It's the cost of proper tuning if you're a pianist. It can be a very expensive thing, and I know one of the sort of obstacles in the path of many under-resourced schools and communities is the cost of keeping students having access to instruments. You've mentioned that you've got a lot of people coming down from Gauteng who are in the business of repairs and can help with that kind of thing. But do you want to talk to us a little bit more about what it takes to keep your students, particularly given that's a strings project, and I know the cost of viola strings from personal cost. How big an issue is that, and how do you manage to keep it going given those costs?
We struggle immensely every single day. But we have unbelievable support from the Prince Albert Community Trust in terms of being able to share and collaborate their team and also their venues, which is an absolute lifesaver for us. We have incredible support from the Oppenheimer Memorial Trust, from the Mzansi National Philharmonic Orchestra, and wonderfully generous people who have given us donated instruments, donated money to buy instruments, to enable us to continue buying strings, because we teach such little people that we have to buy what are called fractional strings.
Yes.
And we have like 16th sized violins and cellos and violas and double basses, like teeny for 4-year-olds.
Wow.
So we start really young. So it's a real thing to have very tiny instruments, and you are right. We need all the help we can get. If anyone wants to, is interested in knowing more and would like to help us in any way, we are so open to collaborating and for support people who care about our young musicians and the future of the arts in South Africa.
Yeah. Now, Louise, this is the second time you're running this event. Obviously, debut events are wonderfully exciting, but usually come with their share of teething problems. What has changed into year 2 of the Kaleidoscope Festival based on what you learnt the first time round?
Really, I think the expanse and extent of the youth program, it is now utterly intrinsic to every single event.
Okay.
It is, whereas we maybe had more sort of solo artist slots last year, this time everything is about side by side. And the youth musicians are part of everything. And we are so grateful to be able to welcome 2 of our very original ARCO students who we taught in Soweto, who we've known. We worked in Soweto for 9 years, and we have 2 of our students, Njabulo and Sofiso, who are coming from Joburg, and a cellist and a double bassist, and they are now playing alongside us professionals in chamber music, and all throughout the festival. So we are just delighted, and in a way they are a model for our much younger and less experienced Prince Albert students. They can see very young people who have got immense skills and what kind of experience and learning that takes, but they can see that model in really, really young people who are playing alongside them, inspiring them.
Just for anybody who's come in midway to this conversation, our guest joining us via Zoom is violist Dr Louise Lansdown, founder of the Kaleidoscope Festival, which is happening this coming weekend in the town of Prince Albert, bringing together young musicians from all over the country for a weekend of concerts and workshops and collaborations, and most important, for the opportunity to play alongside professional musicians and get a sense of what they can aspire to through their music dedication. Now, Louise, in terms of a sort of a spectator experience, obviously the key focus is on bringing the musicians together and letting them take part. But are there particular aspects of the event which are more suited than others to saying to music lovers generally, come and watch, come and be part of this experience and sit and be the audience that our orchestra needs?
Yeah, sure. Basically, our Friday, the 21st, is a showcase for every one of our visiting youth orchestras during the day. So starting at 11, another is the Arco Pact Strings Project. At 1 o'clock is Grey High School. At 4 o'clock are the Frank Peterson orchestras. And at 7 o'clock is the Rustenburg High School group. And at 8 p.m. is going to be the Rebecca Trio, with guest violinist Liva Starker, who is going to be joining them. That final concert is going to be in the showroom, a gorgeous theatre in the centre of Prince Albert. And then Saturday morning begins with workshops all over town with all of the musicians. People can just walk in and out and get some coffee, come and listen to some music. And in the afternoon, at 1 o'clock, Chanda Bupel Lupambo, the pianist, is going to be giving a recital at the showroom. And at 2 o'clock, there's a whole wonderful load of rehearsals with all of the orchestras playing together at the showground in Prince Albert. That's free. And on Saturday evening, 6:30 p.m., we've got all of the young musicians playing together in a massive orchestra. And then followed by a candlelight concert with the professional musicians. It's free. Everyone can bring their picnics and come and sit and care and enjoy themselves. And then the festival finishes on Sunday morning with a concert with a mixture of young musicians and the professionals playing a program of all South African music at the showroom at 11 o'clock.
I mean, some amazing opportunities to be part of this event. And look, Prince Albert is a bit of a drive from Cape Town, but if you haven't made plans for the coming weekend, perhaps you now have some direction on what you should be doing, which is hopping into your car and getting yourself to Prince Albert. In terms of visitor accommodation and the like, as far as you know, is there still availability in town?
Yeah, I think there's lots of availability in town, and it's such a divine place. It's absolutely wonderful. So make your way to Prince Albert. You'll not be sorry.
The last thing to tell listeners is if you want to go and check out the specific program or book tickets, etc., the website for the event is kaleidoscopefestival.co.za. On that landing page, you'll find information about the event. You will find links through to the local tourism authority if you want to book some accommodation to go and make a weekend of it. You will also find a donation button. So if you're not able to get to Prince Albert this weekend, but you love the idea of what they are doing and you would like to support it, there is a donation button on the page which facilitates a donation via PayPal. The last thing to ask you, Louise, is I'm mindful of how many of our listeners are music lovers and are people who played instruments themselves and might be sitting with a violin or a cello or something like that at home. And look, it might be an adult size instrument. Is that of use to you, or do you specifically only need donations of smaller instruments? Because smaller musicians grow up to become bigger musicians, don't they?
We would love any donations of instruments. We need more. We don't have enough. We only have around 65 instruments and we have over 100 kids playing. Okay. So we've had to borrow. Becca Music have been unbelievably generous. They're driving right now from Joburg with a van full of instruments for us, lending us. So yes, we do need more instruments. So if you have something lurking in your cupboard, it can be put to fantastic use with young people learning how to play music.
And for that too, I will direct you to the website kaleidoscopefestival.co.za, because the other click-through button you'll find on the landing page is how to support the ARCO project. So that's your way to connect with them. If you are sitting with an instrument gathering dust, please rather consider donating it to know it will be played by someone who is going to take joy in that opportunity. Our listener Caro asking, what's the age range of your players, and specifically what's your youngest musician, Louise?
Our youngest musicians are 4.
Wow.
They are having a riot preparing for this. And our oldest ones are early teens, 13, 14. Maybe we have one learner who is 16, I think. Okay. But we're focusing on the little ones because string instruments take a long time to learn.
They do.
And they're hard. They're so difficult, and we need time, and they need time. Everyone needs time.
I will vouch for that, having been one of those people who tried very hard but didn't give it enough time to master the playing thereof. I can vouch for the fact it takes a lot of years of very committed practice to stop sounding like a squawking cat and actually start sounding like a musician. I'm delighted that you're catching them much younger than I started and giving them this opportunity. Louise, we wish you an absolutely joyful weekend in Prince Albert this weekend. I hope you'll have some Cape Talkers coming through to support the musicians and perhaps making donations of instruments or donations of a monetary kind to support this wonderful event and the project. It supports the Arco Packed Strings project. And lovely to catch up with you, Louise. Onward and upward, and hope you have a fantastic weekend.
And you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Pleasure. Violist Dr Louise Lansdown, the founder of the Kaleidoscope Festival. So once again, you start on the landing page of the Kaleidoscope Festival. You can find the details there on how to support the Strings project directly, or you can click through to make a donation. You can also find the link through to try and book accommodation if you feel like making a weekend of it and heading through to be part of the musical festivities. It is happening in Prince Albert this coming weekend. It starts on Friday the 21st and runs until Sunday the 23rd of August. If you're already there or en route, I hope you've already booked your tickets, but if you haven't, a reminder that the booking platform is Quicket.